How's it going, Sha?
Um, I'm tired. Someone saw me earlier this evening and said that I looked um weary.
Okay. I mean, I hope they said something else first, like high or something. Jesus.
No, I mean it wasn't. It was said with love,
Okay.
but it also was just quite a. He was like, you seem weary. You're giving real weary vibes." I said, I am weary. I am
Why?
very
Why are you
tired.
feeling weary?
I'm just tired.
Yeah.
It was just there were like you know how it goes where you have nothing to do for 2 to 3 weeks and then you have 2 to 3 weeks worth of stuff to do in 5 days. So I'm just kind of smack dab in the middle of this. For a little peek behind the curtain, for our troops and correspondents, we are recording a little bit earlier than usual. And when I say a little bit earlier, I mean by like hours. We are recording in what seems to be the middle of the night, because I have to travel, and I have to travel in such a way that I will not be able to record during the day. So and I had a show tonight. So I was like, well, can we do it sometime between the show and when I have to get on a train? So that leaves the middle of the night.
Oh yeah.
And I feel terrible because I know, Gastor has a family
Nah,
and stuff to do.
Nah, they're good. They chilling. They love me. I left them in bed. We reassured each other, and then I came to work. If
Oh.
I did a spot, I got them food. I came home from the spot. I gave them the food. So I did all the dad things I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, you pretty much covered it all, I guess.
Straight up. I gave him hugs. I made a silly joke with my son, and then I was like, I gotta go record. We here. We rocking.
But my synapses are not firing. Twice in about a week's time, my roommate has laughed at me because I have been trying to say something, and and then instead I'm just like, I get that. And he's like, "Are you okay? You sound exhausted." Last night he told me I sounded like I was just spinning my wheels in the mud until I could get some traction on a thought.
Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes. Why not?
Yeah, that's just how it is.
Listen, our brains don't got writers' rooms, okay? It's just you by yourself,
Yeah.
Straight up. It's allowed.
So I'm really excited for whoever is going to see me do comedy tomorrow after I come off of a 4.5 hour train ride.
Okay.
To Boston, and I'm sure I'll be confused. And I look forward to telling jokes to those people. It'll be fantastic.
I should take the train more out there. I have gotten into a fender bender every single time I've driven to Boston for a comedy show.
Hey, look, there's something going on with Boston. I'm getting ready to go. By the time everyone hears this, I will have already done the show. I will let you know if something has changed with my view of Boston. Boston, man, y'all kind of weird, though. Y'all a little weird. I've only gone to do comedy, and every time when I leave, I'm just like, whew, what's going on with Boston?
Listen.
And I don't mean it in like it's the most racist city in the world. Like that doesn't really. I grew up in Stone Mountain, so I mean, okay. But
that's all y'all got? Come on.
Yeah, like I don't want you to give me more, but I also I get it, but yeah, there's something going on. But I've been told that this show that I'm getting ready to do is a lot of fun,
Okay.
and so I'm like, great, good, because if I have one more weird night in Boston, I'm gonna go, no, no more, no more to you. But
Right.
I have faith that this next, that's all you need is one good night in a place, and then you're like, I guess it's okay. After like
Yeah.
years and years of weirdness, one good, have people laugh at like 75% of your set, and you're like, Boston's fine.
No, this is dope.
Yeah, the whole city could be burning around you, but they laughed at your joke, so it's an all right city.
That's all you need. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What else are we asking for? I definitely enjoy it when I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, it's just going there or back. I've gotten into a fender bender every time. And always the same thing, by the way. I've been rear-ended by a car on the highway whenever it rained. So if it
Oh.
rained going there, I would get rear-ended by someone under 30 hits my car. So it's always like
Okay.
an inexperienced driver on a weekend. So far, 3 of them have been uninsured.
Is this in the city of Boston is when it normally happens? Where it normally happens?
No. It's been half Boston, half Mass.
Okay, because Boston is made up of, I think, roughly 152 colleges. Like,
yeah.
So it's nothing but college kids.
No, it's just young people just hitting my car over there. Like I'm like, yo, my man. And they always get me when like I'm in a rush. Like, and so like I always end up like, yo, just cash at me like $180 something. Like I gotta go. Like you lucky, my G. But this headache, I got it for the rest of my life now. I hear ringing in my left ear because some random kid hit me in Massachusetts. I just let it slide because I was late for a set, But yeah, no, Boston came for me. But the city itself is cool. Once I'm there, nobody's hitting me when I'm outside.
Sure, yeah.
It's been
if
cool.
No one is hitting you, that is kind of high on my list as to whether or not a city is cool.
Straight up,
no one is actively hitting me or my vehicle. It's not bad.
I don't ask for much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's a place that I've been wanting to eat that I keep missing, and it annoys me because I've missed it 3 times because of the fender bender. Like I left early, specifically to go to this. There's like a restaurant. I don't even remember the name of it now. I always looked it up right before I leave. But there's a restaurant that was created by like MIT students.
Okay.
So like they make Chipotle like bowls of food, but it's all robots. So like I've been dying to like go to like, see like y'all get like my robot Chipotle.
All right. I just looked at MIT Robot Restaurant, Boston. Let's see what we got here.
Yeah, like it's like rice bowls type things.
Oh, it's called Spice.
Yes.
It's permanently closed.
Damn, see? Because they were waiting for my order. My review would have changed that whole future.
Yeah, no. Why did it close? Let's see.
Probably didn't make it through the quarantine.
Oh, no. Sweet Green bought it.
Okay.
But I mean, it doesn't happen anymore. So I guess Sweet Green probably bought it and said they're going to use their technology and put it in all of their stores, and instead they probably just squashed it.
Damn shame.
Because I've been I've worked for a company that's been bought out by a large company that nobody likes, and they swore that they just wanted us for to do some data, and they wanted to help us continue with our mission, and like I was like, I don't believe any of that. I don't believe any of that. So yeah, I worked with the company owned by the new overlords for a year, and then I moved to New York, and sure enough, another year they squashed them. So
damn shame.
Yeah. So
it's over.
Yeah, because I certainly haven't seen any robots putting together any salads at Sweet Green. That's for sure.
It's there. They got the technology.
Oh,
You know,
well, that's interesting. But every time I go to Sweet Green, it's the same girl who checks her phone in between customers. And I'm going during a lunch hour in like lower Manhattan. You got
respect.
to be on your I mean, she changes her gloves between each salad, but
Okay.
she's checking her phone while she's doing that. So I'm like, well, I mean, I guess it's for the greater good.
Yeah. Your food is slightly less, contaminated.
Yeah, I guess so. But
You know,
I mean, she's good. She's very good at her job.
listen, I
Um,
I got
but
a Crown Fried Chicken around here where I'm pretty sure the guy's been using the same gloves since I moved to this neighborhood.
oh,
Like
no.
that, he takes off the glove only to like count money
Oh no. So it's dirty inside and out.
inside and out, and like when he takes it off, like it's loose enough that he could like do it with like he grips like the upper wrist, upper forearm, lower wrist area
Uh-huh.
against the table to like create enough friction to remove the glove
Oh
with one
no.
hand, and the
Oh no.
glove stays fully formed like a hand on the table, and while he counts the
Why do
money.
you go to Crown Fried Chicken?
It's phenomenal food for the price.
Oh
It's a
boy.
value
I'd rather he
proposition.
just use his hands, honestly, than that fucking glove.
But I like the illusion. Like, I like that he like, listen, you want this nonsense? You want me to make all the food with this one dirty glove? Fine, I'll do it. You know?
No.
This makes you feel better that I'm using a glove? No problem. You know?
It does not.
And I watch him put the glove back on, one motion. You know the glove isn't doing nothing when you only need one hand to put it on. Because it
Yeah.
stays fully formed. Like, it
Yeah.
stays like his hand. So I know the glove is like dirty. It might be alive at this point. Like, it's got enough of his skin cells to work. But yeah, I'm just saying it. I've seen worse than what the lady at Sweet Green is doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess there are worse situations. It's just so wide open. I mean, I think it's just like people get the first time I saw her, I noticed that she was checking her phone in between customers, but she was just so fast and no one seemed to have a problem. And my salad turned out fine. That when I go back and I see other people who aren't there out in the regular and don't recognize the girl, and they're just like, well, what is she? And I'm like, trust me, it's going to be the best $20 salad you've ever had.
Watch her work.
But you just got to trust the process.
That's it.
You just got to have faith.
Straight up. My man makes a great chicken cheesesteak and fries at 3 a.m.,
Oh,
So yeah,
boy.
I deal with the half living glove, that
I
he
may
puts
have to
on
hit
and
him
off.
up since we're recording in the middle of the night. He might be the only you, me, and him. You, me, and he. He may be the only ones.
My favorite part of that crown is that when you go on Seamless to order, they
Mhm.
are single-handedly the first like 14 places that show up on Seamless, because he has like a different name for
Oh, he's
every.
doing ghost kitchens,
Yeah, he said, you want breakfast? It's another kitchen. You know what I mean?
but it's all coming out of there.
It's all coming out of Crown.
Yeah,
It's just him.
that's weird.
Yo.
Yes, I mean, that's a huge thing that kind of kicked off with COVID.
Yeah.
A way of places to stay like open. Basically, is they're like, okay, what do you? Yeah, I know we make pizza, but you say you want fish, or you say you want, you know what I mean? Yeah, I can make a seafood tower and have that to you in 25 minutes. I don't
Straight
care.
up.
No one's in here. There's no one's in here, and we're a kitchen. We'll do whatever we need to do.
Kim, that's how I knew that the quarantine had taken up too much of our time, actually. Like, people were
Too much
losing
of
their
our
shit.
time.
Yeah, like people were losing it being home. Because like anything that like seemed cool, people were down to do it, even though it was clearly not a good idea. There is like a fish market a block away from my house on Fulton
Mhm.
Street that like is popping. Like, during the lockdown, like people were going there for date night. Like, it was the shit. And
Mhm.
I know 100% for a fact that place was a tire shop right before. And I feel like those two things should never pivot one after the other. Like if you were a successful tire shop in like oil changing place,
Uh-huh.
the whatever facilities you need to create that shouldn't also lead to 5-star reviews for your shrimp. You know, like that those are very different care systems, you know?
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
if we're doing like date night, like you got like table settings and candles, I shouldn't also have to avoid the like water drops from the J train going over my head.
Look,
But people were
Peter
doing it.
Luger, right?
Yeah.
That's a world-renowned steakhouse. It's very well-known, very popular, very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
It is an area of Brooklyn, I guess, South Williamsburg, right?
Okay.
It is not under the train, but it's on Broadway, which there's a large part of the J train that runs down Broadway. So Broadway itself is kind of a mess.
Yeah.
And it's on Broadway. And they set up just elaborate seating on the sidewalk and in the street. And I was like, okay, but am I still paying $200 for a piece of steak? Or are we going to come down off that price a little bit because I have rats running over my feet? Like on Broadway, you're going to do this? I mean, I get that they were, trying to stay in business, but maybe if you have $150, $200 like steak, maybe you don't deserve to be in business for a little while. Maybe you got to take that L.
Small, like it's a little idea.
Yeah, the world has changed a little bit, but I just remember walking by it and I was just like, oh, really? Okay. Just
straight up.
People just still dressed up outside, seated on these dirty ass, like, just on this sidewalk. And I'm like, yo, what?
Straight up.
That's one of the ones where I'm just like, maybe we'll just wait until it's safe to go back inside.
Real talk. I sat outside at Dinosaurs during the quarantine.
At
you
what?
There was some Dinosaurs, the barbecue place in the city.
It's called Dinosaurs?
Yeah, they got a Brooklyn location now, but the OG's in Manhattan.
Oh, is the Brooklyn one like on near Union Hall?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
One. Yeah, they make like really dope barbecue wings. That's where I fell in love with deviled eggs. Really dope there.
Okay.
But their barbecue game is crazy. But it's by like the NYU campus, so parking in general there is crazy. And then during the quarantine, like it became madness. But like there was definitely seats that had nothing to do with sidewalk. Like they were in the street area under the train that's like they stripe it off to let you know not to put a car there.
Right.
They had tables there.
Oh.
Like it was wild. Like, yo, I gotta cross the street to get to the table at the restaurant I'm eating at. Like it was
so like there was like a bike lane. I've seen that. I've seen some places where they have people on the sidewalk, seated on the sidewalk, and then there's like the street, and then there's like a bike lane or a parking area, and then there's a strip where they put a booth.
Straight up.
The booth is on the street, but it's not up against the curb. It's like a lane over.
Yeah.
They just have a sign that's like, look out for bikes. And
Yo,
like,
straight up.
Yeah, the motorized bikes use this, and those guys don't stop. What?
They had cars driving between hours. Like it was different. It was an experience.
Yeah.
You do what you can.
What a wild time. I'm not saying COVID is over. I'm just saying if you were in New York during COVID, it was wild to see the many adjustments that were made.
There was some pivots.
Yeah, so many pivots. We're dizzy. We're dizzy right now.
Oh man, let's get into the news, Sha.
Yeah, sure.
New Texas law will get rid of water breaks for outdoor workers amid extreme heat. How is this a real sentence? Okay. A new Texas law that overrides city and county ordinances will also eliminate protections currently in place for outdoor workers, such as mandated water breaks, even in extreme heat. Texas Governor Greg Abbott signed the House Bill 2127 on June 13th, which aims to remove patchwork local ordinances around the state. The law goes into effect September 1st and would put an end to safeguards such as the ordinance the city of Austin passed in 2010 that requires rest and water breaks on construction sites for at least 10 minutes every 4 hours. The city of Dallas passed a similar ordinance in 2015. Cities and counties in Texas will instead be required to follow state codes. Supporters of the bill, including State Senator Brandon Creighton and Rep. Dustin Burrows, both Republicans, claimed that local regulations led to inconsistencies and stifled business dealings across the state.
Hold on. Business dealings were stifled because of water breaks.
Yo.
What is this Greg Abbott dude doing? Like, what? If you live in Texas, is this your king? Do you know what I mean? This is your man? Whose man's is this? He's doing so much. He's rolling back. And I mean, so is DeSantis in Florida. They're doing so much.
Real
So I'm
talk.
just like, do you just want people to leave? Or are you just being contrary? Because people are like, yeah, if you're working outside, you should get to drink some water at least for 10 minutes every 4 hours. It's truly the least we can do.
Gee.
And they're just like, no. Like, why are we?
How did they just get that passed? It was 2015 when they just got that. And they were like, nah, that was too much.
Yeah. Also, I feel like Greg Abbott signed something that was like anti-disability or something.
Yo.
So it like something that was going to help people who have disabilities. He like passed a bill or something that took that away. And I'm like, sir, aren't you in a wheelchair?
There can only be one.
I honestly did not know. He had already reversed so many things in the state of Texas before I realized he was in a wheelchair. I'm like, this isn't wheelchair energy.
Oh, that's the thing. Like, I'm okay with bad people being in the world. I am less okay when they're effective at their job. And like, I don't like this guy, but he's good at getting things passed. Like, I don't know how he's doing it, but he's doing it.
I mean, he's got everybody seems to be in power, seems to be on his side. I just want to know, what are these dossiers on everyone that the governors must have in order to keep passing shit? I feel like it just really just comes out of not wanting anyone to have anything. And I'm like, don't you have enough on your plate to not care what other people have? Why does it feel like you're snatching so many things out of the hands of people who need it?
Real talk.
It's so mean. And to me, lately, mean has been like one of the worst things you can be. When I think someone is mean, I think they're just rotten to the core.
Oh, because like, listen, I'm not gonna agree with 99% of the things he does, but if there's something that like you believe in and you think it makes the world and the country and your city and area better, I would love to hear why. But push your agenda. But like, I can't see how taking away water is like ever a plus. Like, how is that? Like, what was happening if they were like, yo, we'll fix this, less water?
I mean, it's truly just to be mean to the people who are working in these positions.
Yeah.
Do you know one of the things that was passed when Georgia recently passed one of their more recent like changes to voting rights and whatnot was feeding people online?
Right.
Because people were waiting on lines for a very long time. And so folks would come and bring water and blah, blah, blah for people who had been online forever, because even being online was a byproduct, a wanted byproduct by the previous changes to the voting laws.
Mm.
And now it's like, if you do that, that's illegal. And I'm like, what are we doing? Are we literally trying to kill people?
Yo.
I don't understand what the end game is. I'm always saying that. Like, I don't understand what the end game is, because my brain, my little lizard brain, won't allow me to understand someone just being like, yeah, I just want to say fuck you to everybody who's not me or someone I care about. Also, don't assume that I care about my significant other. Don't think that that's who I care about.
Real talk. Greg Abbott,
Yeah.
you scary dude, my G.
Yeah. Boo. In
Real
closing, boo.
Real talk. Trash.
Yes.
In other news, Dannon, Kellogg, among 75 companies that France has asked to price cut for price cuts. Dannon and Kellogg are among the 75 consumer good companies that French authorities have asked to cut prices, according to a list seen by Reuters.
Reuters.
Reuters, that sources say the government is using for the initiative. Finance Minister Bruno Le Maire said on
Mayor. Bruno Le Maire.
Bruno Le Maire. I like that. You know, I mean, it's like says a future job in the last name. I like that. June 9th, he had secured a pledge from some companies to cut prices on hundreds of products under the threat of financial sanctions if they fail to follow through. The French government is using the list as seen produced by a research group as a reference for the project, according to 3 sources with knowledge of the matter. France's economy ministry said it was unable to confirm or deny the list. Unilever, the maker of Hellmann's mayo and Knorr soup, told Reuters, I don't remember how to say it again.
Reuters.
Reuters, pardon me, on June 9th. It was one of the companies included in the government's plan. French media recently identified others, including Coca-Cola, Mondelez, and Nestle.
Good.
I like this.
I mean, they're just laughing. These companies made so much money, they gouged us, and they're just literally bragging and laughing about it to their shareholders. Everybody's so mean. I mean, I'm furious, and I'm also worn down, which is where they want you to be, worn down and willing to pay whatever. Mm-hmm. But it's just death by 1,000 cuts. You know, everything just going up in price, and then the nerve of them to just be like to their shareholders, like, look at all this money we made. We literally raised our prices 20%, and those idiots bought it. Yeah, because we just came out of a situation where things were scarce and we thought we needed it, so we're willing to pay whatever, and you took advantage of that.
Yeah.
So
and some of these things are like, it's food. Like, we need that. Like,
yeah.
You know, it's not like a luxury item that we're talking about here. These are day-to-day survival things. You know what I mean? There should be a limit to how much those things cost.
Make them lower the price.
I like this. Shouts to France, yo. Real talk. I don't think I've ever said that out loud, but shouts to France.
No, I don't know if I've ever heard you say that, but I'm glad you feel that way.
Keep pushing that agenda. You know what I mean? In other news, Apple is trying to trademark depictions of actual apples. That's right. Apple is trying to trademark images of apples, the fruit, not computers. Apple has been trying to trademark the apple in Switzerland since 2017 and has launched similar applications in several other countries. It submitted an application to the Swiss Institute of Intellectual Property for the IP rights to a black and white depiction of a Granny Smith apple. In 2022, the IPI partially awarded Apple's requests, citing that generic imagery of common items are considered to be in the public domain. Apple has now launched an appeal because the case is ongoing and requires consent from Apple. The IPI couldn't disclose details of its requests, but it involves uses of audiovisual footage. The ripple effects of Apple's winning its legal battle would extend far beyond the tech world. Fruit Union, Suisse,
Yeah.
111-year-old organization, has a logo featuring a red apple with a white Swiss cross superimposed on it. But now the association could find itself in a position of having to change its logo because the FUS says Apple wants IP rights to all depictions of apples in general, not just the apple with the bite in it, like the Apple's iconic logo.
Get the fuck out of here, Apple. You make me want to throw my phone. Take the case off and throw my phone.
Real talk, yo.
Y'all, what are you gonna do with it? What are you gonna do with it? Y'all ain't gonna do nothing with it. Y'all haven't come out with anything innovative since Steve Jobs died.
Real talk.
What's Tim Apple gonna do with the IP rights to an apple?
Real talk. Like, what are you pushing Apple pictures next? Like, there's nothing Apple related that y'all do at Apple, ironically. You know?
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I don't even know what you stand to gain, except for, like, do you just have people on call to just, like, lawyers to just sue folks just for fun? Like, just look it up. Someone's got an apple in there. You know, we own Apple. What?
Yo, somebody had to make bonus. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Yo,
and again, what does that have to do with my computer? Which is what you make. You make computers.
That's it. I'm just trying to edit videos, B, you know?
Where everyone's reaching. I don't understand. Corporations are tripping. Like, I don't know if this is the end of corporations or if they're just growing in a way that they can't be stopped since they've been people for a minute. But it really feels like they're just like, all right, we're bragging to shareholders. We're trying to own all pictures of apples everywhere. We're like, slow your rolls. All of you, calm down.
That's it.
What are you doing?
Doesn't take much. I'm surprised, you know, that I don't think Apple makes like a red computer.
No, they make a red phone, but it's not even. It's for the that company that uses red for like AIDS awareness or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
so it's not even
line.
it's not even Apple's. No, Apple wouldn't. Red is a very bright, in your face color that the Apple aesthetic would find a little too brash.
Mm.
They would rather do a weird plum or some sort of, seafoam green or some shit like that. Red is a little too in your face for them, but they'll do it for a charity, but not all the time.
Oh man, you guys are out of pocket over there. all this anger because we making y'all get USB-C drives.
Right. Look at how mad they are that they haven't made us change. Look, you made us change enough. I'm all for, guess what? Y'all got to change. Y'all ain't going to come up with anything cool? Then nah.
USB cords for everybody, okay?
Yep.
That's what you get. In other news, Diego ends its 15-year partnership with Diddy following a lawsuit. That's right. Spirits maker Diageo, right? Diageo.
I guess. I don't know with this one.
Diageo. I'm gonna go with Diego because that's what I was saying. Okay. Even I know I'm 100% sure that's wrong.
But if you're 100%, then stand behind that 100%.
Straight up. But I'm confident saying that word. Diego has cut ties with Sean Diddy Combs, ending a lucrative 15-year partnership that recently culminated in a racial discrimination lawsuit. The music mogul charged Diego that Diego had neglected and underpromoted his De Leon tequila, dismissing it as an urban product in its marketing in a suit filed last month. The London-based Diego, I feel like they're adding more Diegos that once they heard that I don't know how to say it, which makes well-known liquor brands like Smirnoff Vodka and Johnny Walker Whiskey counter that this was a baseless complaint. In a statement obtained by CNN, Diego said Diddy, bad faith actions have clearly breached his contract and left us no choice but to end our business relationship. Diego also filed the motion to dismiss his lawsuits. Diddy accused Diego of failing to market his spirits, which also includes Ciroc vodka, in a similar manner with his other brands, including Don Julio and the George Clooney founded Casamigos brands. Diego responded that he has amassed nearly $1 billion from the partnership. Whole lot. They held receipts. Diego and Combs have partnered on Ciroc vodka since 2007, and in 2013, Combs bought De Leon and formed a joint venture with Diego for the high-end tequila.
Huh. Wait. Okay. So then Diddy didn't own Ciroc.
Yeah, it looks like they were partnered together on all of these, right?
Yeah, like that company made it and owned it, and Diddy just kind of was the ambassador of sorts. Except he bought De Leon,
right,
which is separate from Ciroc. It's a different kind of liquor, and then went into a deal with this company he had been dealing with Ciroc.
Yeah,
and then he was saying that they didn't promote his De Leon like they were promoting Casamigos. I don't know, man. Casamigos it's what's popping in the streets right now.
Yeah.
Perhaps people just don't want to drink your De Leon.
Yeah. And you had a great run with Ciroc.
You had a great run with Ciroc for something that you did not actually own. You have people thinking that you owned it, and you didn't. And so there's a hustle. So I don't know, man.
I feel like you had a good run. I think you can't get mad at it. You know, just like Bad Boy, like you can't stay on top forever, you know?
Right.
You had a great run in the 90s, and then, you know, you let other people take over the music. You had a great Ciroc liquor run. You know what I mean? I know a lot of my friends had great memories and bad memories thanks to Too Much Coco Loso. You know? A Ciroc mix that I hold near and dear, you know?
Oh, here's something interesting.
What's up?
Diego, I guess, said Tuesday that Diddy has, quote, repeatedly undermined our partnerships and threatened to publicly defame Diego if we did not meet his unreasonable financial demands. The company also said they've invested more than $100 million to help grow his tequila and accused him of only contributing $1,000.
Take that. Hell yeah.
Hey, man, I'm sorry. This is how you have to learn about this liquor company. But Diddy don't pay nobody. Diddy don't come up off his money for nobody.
Yo, know when that Diego talk to Craig Mack? You know what I mean? Y'all ain't do your research.
Yeah.
Do your Googles over there.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot.
Real talk.
That anyone continues to sign with Diddy is mind-blowing to me.
You had 3 members of Total you could have talked to. You know?
Boy.
All 3 of those young ladies would have told you.
The band. Somebody please get the band on the phone.
Real talk. They still walking through Brooklyn right now.
Yep.
You know?
Day 26. Ask Danity Kane and Day 26. See what they do. I can't believe I remember the name of Day 20. Actually, I can kind of believe that I remember the name of Day 26.
Oh, man. Who were they had some, there was the era there where they had a whole bunch of artists that like, I was like, yeah, none of these dudes is going to make it. Not from a lack of talent. It's just you are here at the wrong time. You know?
Who?
I know there was, on Black Rob's album, there were 2 other rappers that like sounded like different versions of Black Rob to me. Like there was this, and I was like, that can't be good. Like, it's too close. Like G Dep was one of them. He had like he sounded like Black Rob to me if you turned down the high IQ EQ energy. Like you know, like you filtered his voice down. And then there was Mark Curry, who sounded like G Dep and Black Rob together. Like they had fused this other version. It was weird. Like there was several songs where it was like Black Rob featuring Mark Curry and G Dep, and I couldn't for the life of me tell you who was who. All 3 of them was on the song. I would concentrate shot. I would memorize the lyrics. I would try to find they were friends enough that they would reference each other in their bars. So like I couldn't even figure it out that way. Like, oh, you shouting out the whole team, you know? Like if you was at least talking shit about yourself, I could be like, oh, this is him. No, they talked shit about everybody on the song. I feel like there was a solid run there where like I was like, yeah, none of these people gonna make it, but I wish them the best. But I enjoyed the songs. Puffy was still
Yeah.
at his peak,
I
in
mean, you
terms of
know
making
what?
songs.
Let's check in on Loon.
Yo.
How's Loon doing? He's out of jail? Is Loon out of jail?
Is he really? I don't even know anymore. I know G-Dep is in jail forever.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, like G-Dep after Bad Boy found God. Like he went he was like he had like a son or something, and he like looked at him and he was like, I can't raise you to be a man if I'm not honest as a man. And he went and confessed to at his local precinct about a robbery. And it ended up that like that robbery ended up being a murder and he didn't know that he like had done that. So like
that was recent, right?
It was a while back, but he's doing a bid, like he's doing life. It was an open case, and like he confessed to the robbery, didn't realize that the robbery
was connected to a murder.
A murder, like yeah, like it was like a shooting, and like someone died at the robbery. So he showed up saying, "Yeah, I did that robbery." They go, "Word." Well, instead of 5 to 10, you're doing 90. And
G-Dep.
Yeah, G-Dep went away. He doing the time. But he said he a proud dad, and Puffy's still robbing him blind, keeping all that money.
Yeah, I mean, Loon was arrested for moving a good amount of heroin.
Yeah.
And
a respectable amount,
yeah, definitely a sizable amount of heroin. And certainly like a backpack full of heroin. But I think he's out now.
Low key, was Mace the good guy over there? Like everyone.
Nah, Mace was no good guy. Yo, I don't know if he was a good guy.
Oh, the Locks were the most well-behaved people on Bad Boy.
That's wild. Yeah, they still kind of have a relationship with Diddy.
Yeah, and like they like did good things. Like they opened up like that like smoothie store. Like they like doing community service at this point. But like all the other dudes like did time.
Yeah.
Straight up. Like I know, right? Like Black Rob was like getting arrested for like robbing like jewelry from like people in hotels, like after dropping albums.
Yeah, where's Black Rob now? Did he pass away?
He passed away.
Okay,
that's also a thing with Puffy.
He was in and out of jail though. Yes.
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
He comes in and out. He drops a really good album with a progressively more underground label every couple of years until he passed away. Okay. Yeah.
And then, all right.
But he has some great material out there. He robbed a lot of people. And, so he was always proud of it, But yeah, he was a good musician, but also a criminal.
I don't know if I saw that this conversation was going to go to all the people affiliated with Diddy who have spent time in jail.
Yeah, like I'm thinking about it.
I should have just assumed that that's where this was going to go. I don't know why this is surprising me.
Hey man, you want to record at the end
2020.
Of the night. Okay. Straight up, yo. I think it's a requirement. I feel like if you signed the Bad Boy, you had to have done time, or you had to.
Yeah, I guess so.
Straight up. Yeah, yo, look at that. Go figure. You know what? Shouts to Diego. You know what I mean? Cutting ties early, learning their lesson, and not doing a bid
early. I dare say. I mean, the chatter on the street has been such. But then again, maybe they figured, well, we're not one of his little rappers. We're this big company.
Straight up, they shut it down. They didn't do a bid.
Yeah.
They made a couple Billy. Shouts to Diego, man. You doing your thing.
I mean, I guess I hope you. Not that I'm saying I hope you get the dude. I've just never really been a big Diddy fan.
No.
So he's going to have to pay somebody something at some point.
I don't know. I'm a Diddy fan. I think he's going to skate through life. I don't think he ever gets checked. He's too old at this point. Like I feel like
he's too old. He ain't too old.
I feel
too
like
old for what?
I'm saying that like his luck has been solid. Like he's already made it through the peak of shit talking years. So like at this point, he still deserves to get checked, but he is less and less likely to be in an environment where someone will check him.
Nah, he's gonna fuck up and run his mouth somewhere. Because what's gonna happen is he's gonna get old enough that he'll be around people, or some people don't revere him like they once did, because this is a new generation. So this isn't a generation that has watched him come up and blah blah blah. They don't have all that reference. So they're gonna be like, "Who this motherfucker?" And then that's it. And then you can't get back from that, because they're like, I'm sorry, then just, I guess, hang out with those other old men over there, Diddy. And Diddy ain't trying to do that. He's trying to seem young. He's out here pretending to date city girls or whatever it is he's doing. So like there will be a point where maybe someone will just stop fucking with him. And I think that's when the house of cards starts to collapse.
I'm watching, I'm waiting, but I don't see it happening. Diddy is
I don't know. I think when it does, it's going to be just like a big snowball-y type thing.
What's up?
I don't know if this is going to be the thing to kick it off. Who knows? He definitely still has some time in him to blah, blah, blah. But, hey, they were still catching Nazis at like 99 years old. I'm not saying Diddy is a Nazi. I'm just saying you're never too old. You're only as young as you feel.
Oh man, yo, I thought I was wild by saying shouts to France. Diddy isn't a Nazi is also a sentence. Never thought we'd have to state in this paragraph in this podcast ever.
Yeah. I mean, let's make it clear. I don't like the guy, but I've never thought he was a Nazi. I am saying though, karma is a bitch. And karma will wait.
Finally, Pepsi has made its first ever condiment. That's right. Typically, Pepsi is best with a hot dog, not on a hot dog. Shouts to CNN. But maybe that's changing. The beverage brand is making its first ever condiment called Pepsi Cola Chup. Right? I think I'm saying that right? Pepsi Cola Chup. Like ketchup, Pepsi Cola.
Oh, that's terrible. Oh, yuck. Cola Chup. That's right? I don't like that at all.
And, that it's actually infused with Pepsi. The special sauce is being launched in celebration of July 4th, when baseball and hot dogs are aplenty, and is enforcing the company's belief that hot dogs are best paired with soda. Pepsi's Cola Chup might sound foul, at first, but it actually has culinary credibility. It was developed with the Culinary Institute of America, a prestigious cooking school, to craft a revolutionary new type of condiment enhanced with the rich caramel notes and the citrusy pop of Pepsi Cola. According
what
to
Pepsi they drinking? Hand me this Pepsi Cola with the rich caramel notes and citrusy pop.
Real talk, yo.
Which can was that?
Yeah, I don't like accusing people of being high on the job, but like, man, that is not a statement I think you can say if you are sober. Let
me read this next paragraph.
Please.
Beginning with a Pepsi reduction, the sauce is infused with a variety of ingredients such as smoked tomatoes, a blend of spices including cinnamon, thyme, oregano, and paprika, plus onions and ketchup.
Okay.
That results in a, quote, sweet citrusy taste, end quote, of a crisp tasting Pepsi, created to bring out the spicy flavor notes of a hot dog. What are we talking about? What?
That don't call you, sir? Nah?
No.
You ain't craving that right now?
Look, I'm not saying you can't cook with Pepsi. People put milk in their Pepsi or Pepsi in their milk or one or the other. Yeah. You can do some things with cola stuff. You can cook, maybe you can roast a chicken. Like, I know there are things.
Yeah.
This ain't it though. However, the sauce is a tomato-based sauce with some spices, including cinnamon, plus onions and ketchup. That's what it is. That ain't got shit to do with Pepsi. Not at all. I'm not just saying that because I was raised in a Coca-Cola environment.
Yeah, I worked at PepsiCo. I genuinely I appreciate what they did for my family, providing me an opportunity to pay my bills gloriously. I really do. Mm-hmm. The loyalty that they show to Pepsi is insane. as an organization. There's just certain times when I enjoy a Pepsi, I enjoy a Coke. They have a time and place for each other, and there's one and one of the places that I know in my heart Pepsi don't belong is in alcoholic beverages. I hated that they would be like, yo, we'd be at like a bar and they'd be like, yo, you got Pepsi, like a rum and Pepsi. And I'm like, that's not the thing. Like, that is insanity. That don't go together, my G. Like, it's too sweet for this, and like they refuse to eat at places that didn't serve Pepsi,
Okay, that's cut it out. That's silly.
Yo,
accept it,
straight up, be
but
like,
wait, so do you personally not like rum and Coke or whiskey and Coke? Or
I prefer the Coke is what I'm saying. I think there's a reason for that,
Pepsi.
right?
You think Pepsi's too sweet for those things?
Yeah, I think there's a reason that Coke became popular with those things. I think it actually worked well. If Pepsi was the right one, it would have been the one that they named it with. Like,
I mean, did they put cocaine in Pepsi?
Nah, never.
Oh, okay, so that's why the people preferred Coke at first.
Hey, listen, they knew what they were doing over there. Them Coke folks are serious.
Yeah. Now, once someone puts a little cocaine in this Pepsi Cola chip, then perhaps. The limited edition sauce is available for one day only on July 4th at 4 U.S. ballparks: Chase Field in Phoenix, Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, Target Field in Minneapolis, and Comerica Park in Detroit. Taste testers should look for sampling cards. You gonna go up to Yankee Stadium on the 4th, try to find this bootleg sauce?
I'm gonna be out of town, but if I was, real talk, I would.
I know you would.
100% I would do this. Like, I was hoping that this article ended with like, and it's available at Target, and it never got there,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about this. I think that this is going to taste terrible, but I appreciate that they are out there trying new innovative things, as Pepsi should continue to do. This might not be it. Just, putting it out there as a Pepsi fan, I don't like your odds that this is going to catch on.
No, yeah, I'm glad it's just for the one day, but I don't know if America, what a way to besmirch America's birthday. Can you besmirch a birthday? I don't know.
If you would like for Shalewa Sharpe and I to design our own condiment, all you gotta do is like, subscribe to the show, baby. If you are an Apple, Spotify listener, we appreciate your ratings. 4 stars. You don't know about our culinary excellence, okay? I promise you, whatever condiment we come up with will be fire, okay? 5 stars, you know what we're talking about. You know that we know what we're talking about. That condiment will be incredible. At the very least, I promise you, no Pepsi would be involved. Say that with the most confidence. What would we make a condiment for sandwiches or hot dogs?
I mean, I don't know. I think it should just be an overall sauce that you can mix in with noodles, or you can put on a sandwich or something like that. I think it should be maybe. I'm thinking if you do like a Fanta strawberry with basil, right?
Okay.
Right? Like, I feel like that's you add a little savory to the sweet. Think it through. Don't just pretend that strawberry soda has caramel notes or whatever bullshit you're trying to convince me of with Pepsi. Really think about it. If you really want a sweet, citrusy taste, and you got Fanta orange right there.
Yeah, I'm like, you make so many things with citrus,
Yeah, right? Hell, Sierra Mist.
Yeah, they've been begging for promo at Sierra Mist. Getting bodied by 7-Up and Sprite for years, hoping for Pepsi to give them some attention. This was the chance, and they said, nah. Meanwhile,
actually, I think they changed the name of Sierra Mist. I think Pepsi did.
They did?
Yeah, I think it goes by another name now.
They couldn't have shortened it. Like, SM sounds terrible.
Yeah, no, it's not. I mean, it's still going to taste like an extremely watered down Sprite.
Yeah, they can't compete with them dudes. Sprite brought back all the OGs who they got Nas and Rakim rapping in commercials.
That's true. Oh, it's called Starry.
Starry.
I think
that is not an improvement per se.
No, yeah, it has it's not wonderful. The can is I don't know. I mean, it's still going to taste like Sierra Mist. It's got something that's like a half lemon, half lime. But yeah.
Starry
It's
it
not
is. You know what I mean?
Starry. Yeah.
Yeah, I like
that's what
the
happened.
can. I don't like the name.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Well, I mean, pour one out for Sierra Mist. I guess pour it into a Starry can. I don't know. But it never got to be the condiment it probably could have been.
You look at that. That was his
You know?
chance. You know, Shine I would have done it better. Okay. If you have any articles you want us to cover, please DM us directly on Twitter and Instagram at Silky Jumbo or at Gastor Almonte. Shout out to Sweet to Lori McDaniel. Always appreciate you. With all that said, I am the soon to be smothering everything in the War Report Starry concoction, Gastor Almonte. Always with the person ready to dip all her chicken McNuggets in the War Report Starry concoction, Shalewa Sharpe. This has been a surprisingly tasty episode of the War Report. You know, catch y'all next time. Peace.